All right, and that would be Chris Hardy, and of course he's a busy man this week. Membership Drive coming to the Albany Area Chamber of Commerce this week. Chris, who'd you bring with you today?
Well, I've got Annette Medlin here and Jay Handler, both of them with Membership 180. I've known both of them for several years now, longtime friends. But a while back, going on about 2 years ago now, they started a company called Membership 180. Specifically, their focus is to conduct membership campaigns, membership drives for chambers of commerce. Even though it's a relatively new business, they have included a very successful model of what a chamber membership drive should be. Strictly volunteer driven, based on the relationships that the volunteers have within the business community and leveraging those relationships to be a part of our Chamber of Commerce.
Okay, and how has the response been so far as we get set to kick off the Albany Area Chamber of Commerce membership drive this week?
Chris has got a really enthusiastic group lined up, and we're excited to get them in there and inform them more about what their chamber's doing in this community and bring some new heads to the table.
Okay, and what has been the response in other areas that you've done this so far, and how can it benefit the Albany area?
You know, I think the real thing to keep in mind is that this campaign and campaigns like it are really structured to talk a little bit more about getting the message out to a broader base, and it's more about engaging folks and making sure that they're more engaged with their communities than it is about bringing in numbers. In communities across the country, we'll bring anywhere from 50 to 500 new members to a Chamber of Commerce, but what's really important is what happens after they're brought into the fold. So it's really more about making sure that they're engaged with the Chamber, that they're learning about all of the different opportunities and some of the great things that the Chamber is doing for them on their behalf every single day.
Okay, and so how can businesses and business folks in the community, how can they come out and join you guys in this week's drive?
Well, there's several different ways they can do it, primarily for the next 3 days, today, Wednesday and Thursday. The volunteers are going to be, calling on those relationships that we talked about. Right. If there's a company out there that is not called for whatever reason, we hope there's very few that aren't called, but if there is by chance a company that is not being called for whatever reason and they are interested in joining the chamber, specifically for this membership drive, all they need to do is call the chamber. We can get them set up with one of our volunteer teams and get them, talking with one of our volunteers, let them explain to them the benefits of joining the Chamber of Commerce, what are some of the immediate benefits they'll be able to see. But, kind of like what Jay was talking is, one of the big words in Chamber of Commerce is retention. You can recruit. It doesn't matter how many members that you recruit during a membership drive. If you're not retaining those members after the first couple of years, it doesn't really matter. So engaging those new members, into the Chamber of Commerce, let them know what's going on, how they can participate, how they can maximize the benefits of their membership. That's where a membership drive really pays off.
Okay, well, sounds like a lot of stuff going on at the Chamber this week. Best of luck to you guys. We'll talk to you a little bit more here in just a couple. Talking about the Albany Area Chamber of Commerce membership drive going on this week. Now, let's talk about real quickly, the lifeblood of our economy is, a lot of times people say it is small business. Now, what's the first thing you say to folks when you go out there? You try to recruit them for these membership drives and the like. What do you say to them first?
Well, we have a sort of motto that says, chambers do the stuff that people think just happen.
Okay.
And that's what chambers are doing every day. The work of business, we're in the business. So we are taking care of business and increasing the opportunity for that to be successful and to have a local economy that's healthy and strong for its citizens.
Okay, we all know the struggles that we've seen economically in the U.S. over here in the last, few years, going back maybe 5-6 years even. What are some of the important things that you say to people when you go out there, speak to small businesses and the like? Are you out there saying, hey, this is something that you can take advantage of? If you haven't already, you need to do this to foster these relationships, not only with the chamber, but other businesses that may be in the same business you're in, and you can actually really get some good relationships going, networking and the like, and that will benefit your overall business, right?
It's funny. A lot of people say, that networking is the reason that they should join the Chamber of Commerce. And in fact, when we speak with boards of directors of chambers across the country, they say, we should join because there are great networking opportunities,
right,
and marketing opportunities and seminars and things like that the Chamber does. And those are all true. But what we see is that about 8 to 12%, and this is national numbers and also holds true here in Albany, but somewhere between 8 and 12% of Chamber members will ever attend those networking events and those sorts of functions. So what we really need to focus on is the 90%, give or take, of what everybody else is going to be excited about. So we really want to take the focus away from, at some level, those ribbon cuttings and networking events and start talking more about the 30,000-foot view. It's things like what Chris and the Chamber is doing with the Strive to Thrive concept. It's things like the Marine Corps Logistics Base and, you know, a $1.2 billion, Chris, I may be fudging there, but $1.2 billion economic impact that the Marine Corps brings to this region. It's things like that that affect every single business owner, whether they're a member of the Chamber of Commerce or not, that the Chamber does every day that folks need to remember and that folks need to become excited about. It's the Chamber of Commerce that fights for those sorts of things, and why on earth wouldn't you support the organization that supports your economy and your area in that way?
All right, well, very well put. And of course, as we were talking about, lots of times small business is not only the lifeblood of our economy nationwide, but regionally speaking, locally speaking as well. And Chris, tell us real quickly, what are some of the results you have seen in your tenure so far with the Albany Area Chamber of Commerce?
Well, I think, you know, obviously we're still in a down economy, and it's not just us, it's right. Communities nationwide. There may be some communities that have rebounded a little bit more quicker than others. In a population our size is still kind of slow. But, you know, we are seeing a resurgence in job creation. You know, we've been sharing some information that the Economic Development Commission shared not long ago is, you know, just since between the months of January and June of this year, there's been $41 million in capital investment. That is huge compared to the previous last 4 to 5 years. Okay. That's a 36% increase from just last year. So, you know, 245 new jobs have been created since January and June. You know, we all see the new construction being happened at Gander Mountain out there by the mall. The new locations over there off of Dawson Road in the old Steinmark Shopping Center. Small businesses, Party City, Ulta, you know, PetSmart, Gander Mountain. You know, these are all new jobs that are being created, good paying jobs as well. That's the type of stuff that we have to continue to focus on. The Economic Development Commission is really doing a great job with not just their recruiting efforts, but also getting the volunteers and the local business leaders involved in those efforts, whether it be the 3 task force that they have, the retention, recruitment, renewal. I serve as the chair of or co-chair of the retention task force committee, which makes sense, chamber, retention, retaining your members. But nonetheless, it's those type of collaborative efforts. Even though the Economic Development Commission and the Chamber are now separate organizations, we still work, you know, very close, you know, hand in hand with each other. Our volunteers are their volunteers, and likewise. So it's those type of collaborative efforts, you know, partnering with other entities to better what it is you're trying to do. Everybody's got a same final goal. You know, our goal is the same as the economic development corporations, even local government. We may take different paths to get to that goal, but our goals are the same, which is make this community the best it can be.
All right, well, thanks for coming in this morning, and best of luck to you in your membership drive this week. We'll see you next Tuesday.
Thank you.
All right.